The road to wealth is like a game. The more you know the rules, the better you become. So let me share the story of Mike, a friend of mine. Mike worked at a pizza stand. Every morning he would go to work because he had to, but he had no zest for it. He had a lot of problems with money. He was in debt because of bad loans in the past. He also had an ill mother who looked up to him for help. Mike used to tell me a lot about his problems, until one day when he met Daniel, one of his customers. Daniel always had a smile on his face. He was one of Mike's best customers. One day, casually, he asked Mike what made him grumpy. Hesitantly, Mike told him about his money problems. Again, Daniel smiled and told him he needed to understand the 7 money rules. Daniel told Mike that when he learned the 7 rules of money at 27, he applied them and was able to retire at 40. He just does part-time work now and goes on vacation with his wife. I hope you're enjoying the story so far. You'll be surprised at the 7 rules of money. Watch the video till the end, because the 7th rule is the most important. After that, I will explain why money is not the same as happiness. But before I do that, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. Now let's continue the story. Daniel told Mike that after his retirement at 40, he traveled a lot before deciding to take a second career. So, he had a lot to be happy about. In addition, the 7 rules helped him solve all his money problems. So, Mike closed his shop and listened attentively as Daniel explained the rules. Money rule number 1. First, pay yourself. Daniel explained to Mike that many people intend to save something after their paycheck, but fail to do so. Sometimes unexpected expenses come up, and because they did not plan to save, they cannot do so. A survey found that more than 2 in 3 Americans do not have any form of budgeting. This handicaps their ability to save and attain financial freedom. Then there is the fact that some have low wages and live from paycheck to paycheck. Daniel said he was in this group until he learned about the 20-30-50 method. According to the method, one needs to divide his income into 3 parts. 50% will go for living expenses. He will spend 30% on entertainment, and the final 20% will go into savings. The secret is to plan to do this month after month. Especially important is the second trick. The second trick involves automated deductions from one's account that allocate money to each sector. He has 3 accounts where money is automatically allocated from his monthly check account. Daniel saved thousands within a very short time using these 2 tricks. Money rule number 2. Savings doesn't grow wealth. While working as a stockbroker, Daniel learned that savings don't grow wealth. So, although saving was part of rule number 1, it is not enough. He explained to Mike that the best interest rate on a savings account in the bank is 2%. That means if one has $100,000 in the bank, the money would have grown by $2,000 after a year. But the current inflation rate is about 8%, which is still rising. That means at the end of the year, the money in the bank has lost value due to inflation. He told Mike that investing was the key to wealth growth. Taking advantage of compounding interest rates was the best wealth builder. His target was to save $250 every week for 22 years. Before he was 40, he had more than $1 million in investments, compounded quarterly. The investment gave him an average return of 10%. That was when he decided to retire and leave off the interests. I put a lot into this video so that you can benefit from it. So please click the like button. Then hit the subscription button and turn on notifications. Now to the 3rd money rule. Money rule number 3. Live below your means. This is one of the most obvious rules to follow, but one of the hardest for many. Many people are materialistic and want to impress others. Rather than saving for retirement, they spend money on things like expensive iPhones just to make a fashion statement. The absolute truth is that to attain financial freedom, one must live below their income. The difference should be put away in an investment. This gives peace of mind whenever trouble occurs, or the money can start a business. The business can provide double or triple the amount invested, making one wealthy. Money rule number 4. A cash emergency fund is essential. Daniel emphasized the importance of an emergency fund. It was not exciting, but very important. Mike had to make it a top priority. A cash emergency fund keeps you afloat when accidents or unexpected troubles come. The money in a cash emergency fund can be in a checking or savings account. Daniel could see that this rule didn't excite Mike, so he told him how having an emergency fund was his lifesaver when his wife was sick. He didn't have to borrow or take money from his investments to pay her hospital bills. Daniel then advised Mike to have a year's expenses as an emergency fund. Before presenting money rule number 5, I'd appreciate it if you could take a moment to hit the like button. Your support will enable me to continue producing such useful content. If you have already liked my video and subscribed to my channel, that's awesome. Now, let's get back to the video. Money rule number 5. Be smart about debt. Daniel explained that banks and credit card companies make money when people borrow money. The key to attaining financial freedom is not to make them rich off of you. Some debts are good. An example is buying a home or taking a student loan. A home is essential because shelter is a fundamental human need. Education is also necessary because it helps to grow your wealth over time. Taking debts to fulfill these obligations is not bad. Being smart about debt involves knowing that debt can go up in value. So you must factor in interest rates and asset depreciation. For example, if you use debt to buy a car, with time, the vehicle depreciates, but the debt remains, and the interest rate makes it rise. So taking on car debt might not be a wise option. As a general rule, Daniel told Mike that he should endeavor to pay cash when buying an asset that depreciates. However, if he couldn't afford to pay in cash, he should either wait until he could or look for a cheaper alternative. Money rule number 6. Learning increases wealth. Daniel told Mike that the more he learned, the more he would earn. He should take that as one of the first principles in life. Daniel said he learned much from great men like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. Bill Gates takes reading vacations to catch up on books he has missed. Also, Bill Gates never sleeps without reading a book page daily. As for Warren Buffett, he reads voraciously, especially about the industries he is interested in. Daniel then told Mike that he had to make reading part of his daily routine. Reading opens the mind to new frontiers and possibilities. You learn new ideas and concepts. Mike wasn't much of a reader, so he asked Daniel what he could be reading that would help him grow his wealth. Daniel explained to Mike that he should start with nonfiction books that would help him grow. For example, he could start with social skills, emotional intelligence, economics, and business development. He could also explore books on motivation and self-development. Also, he should read the daily news to stay current on what is happening locally and internationally. Those are ways he could get ideas. Wealth comes from ideas. Now, if you're still watching this part of the video, please leave a comment down below to let me know that you're still watching. Share your opinions in the comment section. I would love to hear them. Now, let's get back to the video. Money rule number 7. Money is not equal to happiness. Mike was now delighted. He never knew about the 6 money rules. He now knew he could start on the journey to wealth. He was ready to use these rules. But Daniel laughed and told him the 7th rule was the most important. The 7th rule was that money would not make him happy. Daniel said that money brings happiness only when it is spent well. Mike was now confused. Daniel then explained that many people buy things they desire because it gives them a high, so they continue to spend because they want the happiness to continue. That cycle cannot continue indefinitely. It only leads to poverty. The person would be back to where they started. The secret to money and happiness is to use it to add value to the lives of others. For instance, if you have wealth, use it to buy your parents a car they will cherish. As you see them driving it, it gives you joy. Use it to help the disadvantaged. That's where real happiness comes from. That conversation changed Mike. He promised himself that he would use the 7 money rules to acquire wealth and make others happy. 10 years later, he walked to the pizza franchise's manager's office and handed in his resignation letter. He had found the secret to money and wealth as Daniel had. I believe you enjoyed watching the video. You can get to the life you deserve like Mike. Just apply the 7 rules of money. If you like this video, click the like button on this video so I can keep making more. Now, if you want to watch more videos like this, then you need to watch this video right here. This video is one of the best on this channel.